When asking someone, what are the differences between myth, legend, and folklore, you might get a rather stunted response, because their similarities are more discernible than what makes them unique. In this video, we aim to clear up this ambiguity. Demonstrating via Venn diagram will be the best preliminary explanation for this. We'll tee off by placing telling tales in the center, as the olden storytelling is what tethers the tree together. As for the differences, allow me to elaborate. We'll start with folklore on the bottom. In this section, we'll jot down the telling of tall tales. Tall tales are spoken stories. They were commonly exaggerated to make the given scenario about someone who could be unknown and unreal, or at the time, real and known, more captivating. This narrative bias grew through there being no specified author, which is important to folklore. The changes happened as new people retold the stories to their family and friends, with alterations depending on mood, political climate, and the storyteller's individual taste. With no author, that means that even Neolithic cave paintings classify as folklore. The Easter Bunny originated from the German folklore tale of Astra, the goddess of spring, who turned a bird into a hare, and that hare began laying eggs for the upcoming festival. The animated film Wolfwalkers, set in Kilkenny, used the myth of why there were wolves around the settlement of Ossory. When St. Patrick tried to convert the pagans to Christianity, the pagans resisted, and as a result were cursed to become werewolves when they slept. Past the localized storytelling of folklore lies legend and then myth. Today the two are linked more and more as films, books, and video games create their own fiction around their precedents. Legend is less encompassing than myth, mostly being set in the fantasy genre and following a character that is imbued with magic or living in a world with magical properties. Legend was untraditional, having the capacity to teach morals outside of religious influence. Disney's animated Pinocchio would fall into the legend category, as it was based on the child puppet Come Alive, titled The Adventures of Pinocchio, which was written by the Italian author and journalist Carlo Collodi between 1881 and 1882 newspaper serials. The story that was about refusing responsibility for the present and temporary enjoyment was much grimmer in the original fiction. Instead of Geppetto wishing upon a star that his marionette would come to life, Pinocchio was already alive, being a rude piece of wood whose nose would grow larger with the mean things he said, not only when he told lies. The biggest difference was that Pinocchio didn't return home in the first iteration of the story. He was hung by the cat and fox bandits due to his egotism and fleeing of responsibility. Disney adopted the revised version Collodi did for the readers, who wanted Pinocchio to redeem himself. That is where the whale and transforming donkey circus idea spawned from. And the 2010 Robin Hood film, directed by Ridley Scott, is based on the legend of Robin Hood from medieval England. The modern publicized appearance of Robin would be in Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott in 1819, in which a man named Robin Locksley put on an archery display at Ivanhoe's tournament. Later, Locksley goes to save an injured and captured Ivanhoe in battle. The action of taking money from the rich and giving it to the poor was because of Prince John raising taxes as he ascended to the throne of England. The government took particular problem to Robin Hood, since he would steal from the wealthier Normans in order for the poorer Anglo-Saxons to pay tax to keep what land was originally theirs. Myth. Myth is the granddaddy to legend. Mythology originated in the form of transcribed texts. The stories within were fictional, but were written by people with strong religious power and belief, making those stories sacred for a long time. As a result, they revolved around characters with great divine strength, often of God's lineage. Myth is vast in substance, as there are different mythologies depending on the region. Egyptian, Norse, Greek, and Irish mythologies are some quick mentions. Mythology is focused on the symbolism over the character studies. A modern incarnation of Norse mythology would be in God of War, where protagonist Kratos, a Sparta and demigod who has killed all the Olympians, is raising his son Atreus and delivering the ashes of the boy's mother to the mountains of Jotunheim. Other realms that the player can travel to include Midgard, Alfheim, Niflheim, Muspelheim, and Helheim, 6 of the 9 realms in Norse mythology. The game contains characters from the 13th century prose and poetic Edda, in Odin and his sons, Tyr, Freya, the world serpent, and Mimir encased in the tree of Yggdrasil. They also allude to the iconic storyline of Ragnarok from Norse mythology. In the video game Overwatch, purchasable skins of characters from Wu Cheng'en's 16th century novel Journey to the West were added to celebrate the 2017 Chinese New Year. Sun Wukong, the legendary and mythic character, was among them. He is better known as the Monkey King. In myth, when Wukong was freed from underneath a mountain, he acted as disciple and bodyguard to the monk Sanzang in his quest to bring back holy texts to southern China. Sanzang was one of the other purchasable skins in the game. In all these forms of storytelling, they adopt the hero's journey model according to Joseph Campbell. A more simplified version, I think, of this would be Dan Harmon's Story Circle. I will run through the beats of a story by using his chart with Cartoon Saloon's Wolfwalkers as the example. 1. We are introduced to Robin, the old English daughter of the town hunter Bill Goodfellow. 2. Robin wants freedom, so she ignores her duties and directly disobeys her father by sneaking out of town to follow him hunting in the forest. 3. When the wolves attack, the wolf girl Maeve takes Robin's injured owl. Robin crosses the threshold when she sneaks out to save him, but in doing so discovers the existence of wolfwalkers, humans that shapeshift into wolves when they fall asleep. And now that Robin has been bitten, she is about to become one. 4. In wolf form, Robin listens to Maeve and has fun with her. 5. Robin feels liberty as she learns to be a wolf and runs with the pack at night. 6. But Maeve is not happy. Her mother has been captured by the Lord Protector. Robin in wolf form attempts to free the mother, but is intervened by the town guard and Goodfellow. Now with the risk of wolf attacks, the town wages war with the forest, and Robin is trapped within the walls. She can't warn Maeve. 7. When Goodfellow is issued to kill Maeve's mother, Robin stops him and finds out he is trying to protect her, and is himself utterly afraid. Robin frees the mother and successfully reunites her with her daughter. 8. Goodfellow, Robin, and the wolves successfully fend off the soldiers, while Maeve tends to her injured mother. With their help, they defeat Lord Protector and save their mother. In the epilogue, the four are a tight-knit family, travelling across the uncolonized Ireland in search of a new home. I hope with these samples you will have a greater understanding and appreciation of myth, legend, and folklore, and their subtleties, as they are what inspire modern storytelling, whether that be in direct reference or purely inspiration.